afternoon. Today I've got a few sprites to draw. A few bits to do to the map, basically. So it shouldn't be too long one. Bit of a late start today. I've been doing some freelance work. So let's see how we get on. Hold on, I've just noticed this. That's not quite right, is it? Little rogue pixel. Okay, let's export that again. Well, yeah. So the first thing on my list is evil trees. So we can draw some evil trees and dot them around the south, and then I've got like all the bits that I need, basically, like a list, some dark hills, graves, and pop them about, and I've got some notes about like expanding the map, basically, or expanding the detailed part of the map. So map trees, sprites, map trees. And so I'll make a similar one, because we're sort of working with the same scale here. I think we can just save as map. We should probably split up by biome. Like undead biome. Oh, did I just make a new file? Yeah, new folder. Undead biome. Don't know if it's too early to like announce that as a biome, but just to sort of organize things a little bit, make them a little bit easier to find if we need to find them. So then we'll go map evil trees. Yeah, okay. And then essentially, what makes an evil tree? What colors should we use? I mean, dark. So it's going to be like some like almost black color, but is that almost black from brown? I don't know. Have that tiny bit of color, or is it like desaturated? Or are they actually like black? No, I think it's like generally desaturated. I'm just gonna like spooky evil trees images. Yeah, generally they're desaturated. But yeah, maybe we could have the tiny bit of brown. Well, as long as it's consistent color, I think something like that makes sense. Let's just do that there. And then, yeah, we would delete everything else on the tree. And we've got like these kind of gnarly, almost like a hand. Quite like the idea of making it look a bit like a hand. And then should I be working with a bit more color? She got bigger. How's it going, Leo? Thanks for joining. She got bigger. That's horrendous. Bear that's eating all your honey. Yeah, how's that going to look at scale with lots of them? And it might want to be a bit more, like a bit less chaotic, like so a bit more refined. So we have one big bit. Just a bit more consistent shape, and then we go like one big one here. A couple bits branching off, and another big one here, and then maybe does that just look wacky? Has that lost all sense of tree? Is it maybe it looks funny to me because the mid bit is like feels a bit chunky compared to the bottom bit. We expect a tree to have sort of a thicker bottom than top. This stream we're doing bits for the map. So we've got this big map here, and we've started detailing it. Obviously these farms are the wrong color. We might rethink the farms, but we've got little trees, we've got little hills, little mountains. The road is just kind of drawn straight on. I've got a little lake and whatnot. And down in the south here is the spooky area, and that's where we'll have like evil trees. So I've got evil trees on my list, and I want to do some and just like paste them about the map. And then if we've got that done, then the map will look more interesting, and then we can write down a couple more notes and say, oh, actually, yeah, maybe we can have this over here and that over there, for example. Okay, I mean, yeah, chaotic tree. Didn't take long, but it shouldn't take long. Was that lazy? Or was that just how you draw a tree? Yeah, why would I add more strokes just to your Chipotle Red Army. Okay, map evil trees. Okay, let's I mean, I think that's it, like a single color. I don't know if we would have another color to kind of shade it, maybe. I'm not sure we would need that. So yeah, undead biome, map evil trees. And then basically I'll take, every time we make something, we're doing like prefabs because it's good practice. Just in case something changes about one of the trees, we can change it for all of them. Is it just me, or is it, I swear when you select something in Unity, it's supposed to highlight the root to that object. So since I selected tree, it should have highlighted its parent for me. No? Did I just misremember that entirely? So yeah, we'll take 3 random trees. We'll do, I guess this would still live in trees. Or let's make a, do you want evil trees? And then they can have like a parent folder that's the same if we want to keep them together. So let's pop them in there, evil trees. Ah, bloody hell. Need to find the setting. I'm sure there's a setting somewhere which is whenever you make an empty object, does it keep the parenting? I mean, sorry, does it just reset to 0 because that's what I want? Okay. So we would have yeah, let's just set all of them to, oh well, first we need to set up the sprite. That would help. So map, undead biome. Because yeah, it's getting a bit busy, that folder. So yeah, we need to split it up by biome. Do our preset for sprites. Multiple, apply sprite editor by size. I think, what's this, 16? 24. With the pivot at the bottom, I think. We can set all of these to map evil trees 0, and then these two to 1, and these two to 2. Let's break these prefabs. And this is map we make the prefabs, map. Guess we'll do the, yeah, undead biome. And each of these exist as prefabs there, so they're easy to edit. And then let's grab them, move them over here. I mean, and yeah, straight away, I mean, yeah, this is what we're gonna want, isn't it? So let's just copy those like crazy, and we're gonna need a bunch, of course. One, but we'll make like blobs and then repeat the blobs. And I think I actually want to like flip half of these, possible. Yeah, I should put that in. Oh, or do I? I don't think it's necessary actually. You can flip half them just to make it less obvious, the copying, but actually I don't know if that makes a good difference. Okay, and then we can kind of take that, copy it about the place, and I like to keep the sort of gaps, and then I can kind of fill those in manually. But yeah, we really are, we've got a lot of these little guys. I don't know if it's like supposed to go all the way across, but that sort of, yeah, makes sense as a starting point. We've kind of blocked off the whole, this whole chunk of map with trees, but yeah, I guess that's okay. And then over here, yeah, a bit sparser, so we can just kind of pop some and then just delete some. Alright, it's moving the shadow by accident in some cases. Okay, that's annoying. Can I consistently not grab the shadow but grab the actual object? I don't know, I think so. Yeah, I guess I just want to spread some of these out. I mean, this still beats drawing it by hand, I guess, like drawing each individual one. That would obviously be the most high effort way to do this. I'm saving a bit of time, but not that much time. The most lazy way would be to like actually procedurally do it. And I guess I could, but I would be like, it's just for one screen. It just feels a bit redundant to make a whole like map generation system for one screen. But I suppose I could just like put little objects around here that are like will spawn a cluster of trees around it, and then I could take that and pop it back in. Like I could copy it, I could generate it at runtime, copy it, and then paste it out of runtime, and then, you know, then we would have like a sort of organic. But I would have to get clusters right, and I think it's easier just to kind of paint it by hand a little bit. So it's a little bit time consuming, but so what I'm going to do is grab, like, yeah, this one. I'm just going to paste him about the place a bunch of times. I feel like I'm just spamming so many trees. It's dangerous. Or like, it's kind of like, really, is this what my job is? It's like, yeah, no, this is a useful thing. From a distance, it does look like a forest. Just doubting myself, don't mind me. I'm having a cheeky little doubt. Okay, that'll be one. Let's do it with another one. Just pop them about the place. Kind of break up these gaps. This obvious pattern that we can see. Just kind of, yeah, pop it in these obvious gaps, and then we have another type of tree. It's not the same one, is it? So straight away that's kind of made the pattern a bit less obvious. Although it is still clearly there. But let's not dwell on that. We want to get each of these pieces in, and then we can kind of start to paint a bit more carefully. But yeah, I suppose I could... Like, maybe I was a bit too trigger happy with that pattern. Just want to kind of break it up now. In like whatever cheeky ways I can. There we are. That should do, I think. For now, I mean, we're not final, and I kind of want to see it from the camera perspective as well. Let's just move this along. Yeah, that seems about right. That's it's obvious what's happening. It tells the story, and it's like, yeah, this is spooky place, which is what we wanted to do here. Okay. Evil trees done, I think. More graves. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that because we wouldn't just have graves like scattered around the countryside. So I'm not sure what I meant with that. Let's put a pin in it. Dark Hills. So I think the first step here map background. We actually do want to extend this area up a bit. Do this while I'm at it. Farms on a separate layer. It's a bit tricky, but not too difficult. Oh. Fooz is eating my upload speed. Shouldn't have that open. So yeah, we've got like a bit of evil space to work with. But so what did we have? Dark hills. Yeah. Do we need that? I think it does add a bit of texture. So then we're gonna want our hill, and this is gonna be a really straightforward one to do. There might be a better way to do this, but so we're gonna go to our. So we've done the trees. I'm happy with the trees for now. So let's hills. Not map hills, just hills. Yeah, terrible name convention. And basically, I just want to save this undead, or yeah, let's call it dark hills map, dark hills. Where we essentially are just taking this color. I think that's one of the ones there, but yeah, we'll just copy it to be sure. And we take a darker version for the shade. Set these up. And I guess, yeah, we'll do this again where we just take hills. I mean, there's not much to it really. I probably don't even really need to use prefabs. It's kind of like just in case I wanted to change something about every single one of them, but I don't actually think that'll be that difficult to do. So we'll skip making the prefabs. I think we'll do evil hill or dark hills. We'll have to put these transforms in another transform at some point. Organize them even more. And let's just bring this in one by one. And each of them should be at slight tilt. And it was 5. What was the tilt? I think the tilt's 45. Yeah, okay. And we just kind of want them around here, not interrupting where the missions are. So it's good. It's good that we can see them. I like the idea that there's like a little bit of a hilly kind of choke point here. Yeah, we just got some hills here, just to kind of, you gotta have something, like, because if it's just flat ground, then it's like, okay, well, why has no one built something there? I don't know if this is like the best generation of it, but yeah, like hills and trees. Just adds a little texture, doesn't it? Makes it a bit less boring. Just a few little bumps to represent some little hills. Okay, that's that. Graves, like, I don't know what I'm talking about there. Those are graves. Could have graves like just strewn across the path. I don't think so. Burning houses. Okay, so we're kind of looking at orc territory now. That's good. Yeah, we're just creating the assets we need. So let's save this. And use this window to open up house. Map house. just house. Houses, yeah. I think this little ring around it, I'm not sure if that's actually desirable. Or maybe it doesn't need to be so high. I think that's it. Yeah, it still does what it was meant to do. Got timed out of your scripting session. Yeah, what's that? Using Claude or something? That must suck. Okay, so we've got houses. We want. Guess we won't worry about biome for this one. We'll call this burnt map. Burnt. Are we doing burnt or burning first? Burnt houses. So I guess. Just looking at some like charred shit. Just figuring out, like, again, I'm not particularly good at drawing. Just figuring out how I even want this to work at all. So it's like like, how do I want this to look? I don't know. The story we're telling is a house that has been burnt. Something like that. Does that look like a burnt house? Like, it's a pretty simple object. Let me burnt house. Because I guess you might have some with the roof collapsed in, some without. But like the roof would be, it would just be like the top remaining, right? And then I guess you'd be able to see, like if that was see-through, what would that look like? You'd have the front, and then the back would also be visible. Like that, kind of. And then they would probably have like smoke coming off the top, or maybe not. Like that probably does it. I mean, you know, this isn't supposed to look too fancy. It's just a shell of a house, right? So yeah, we fill this in. We've got burnt houses, and then we can do the flame like separate. So we could have like a sort of a slightly animated fire. You got in trouble and had to time yourself out. You say the strangest things. Remind me of me when I was younger. Burn house. Yeah. Yeah, let's just do the same thing here. Because basically the burnt houses is kind of like an orc house. So we do map burnt house. So yeah, we'll take, yeah, we'll just take copies here. Oh no, not hills, no, I want some of the old houses. Just to like keep the shadows so I don't have to redo that stuff. So, double check that this is, I have to reset that every time, it's annoying, okay. Yeah, and I guess it wouldn't have the chimney smoke. But it would have like flames sometimes, so we'll keep that as a separate thing. Let's not go too crazy with copying these. And then what we would have, so yeah, like not too many, just enough to show. So let's have one of those. And like, so there we've got these like either side of the river. So it's not too many of these. Kind of, you could imagine a little riverside kind of, or like this town kind of extends to the river. And then we're gonna have, and these ones will be like burning, and then these ones will be like, yeah, the fresh houses that are burning houses that are still on fire, and burning houses that are not on fire anymore. And that little gradient is gonna tell you where the Yorks are. I don't know. I think that kind of detail gives a map more life. So these are indeed in the game. But yeah, so this, I guess these would come under burnt houses, so we would have the odd little house along the road like that. I can't remember where we did the chimney smoke thing, because it swaps sides based on like it swaps the animation, so if it's on the left, you know, so that it doesn't flip the animation, but it makes it match the chimney. Also, yeah, we should flip a couple of these. How do I do trailers? I just kind of edit them myself in Premiere. Trailers are fun. You just get some gameplay footage and kind of make it match whatever story you're trying to tell. Show the best part first, you know. Lots of advice on there about how to build a good trailer. It's worth checking out. Yeah, okay, I think that adds a bit more. And I think, yeah, we want to do our little fire. And I think we're just talking about making like a little burning like candly bit, but I guess, so let's try and do that. So we're looking at like 16 by 16. For anything, I guess. So yeah, let's call this map fire. Resize it 16 by 16. So it's not too big, not too small. And we've got our fire colors already, and I'll just quickly. I guess it could be like three pronged fire. Yeah, and we'll give it a decent amount of frames. I'm really happy today I put out, or like, yeah, end of last week, put out a video how to avoid burnout. It seems to be getting a good response, which is nice. Okay, so we just want to animate this like warbling about a bit, I guess. How far can I go with this? Do I just want it to like wobble, or do I want it to kind of grow and then start a new one? Like, do I want something similar to what I've got with the ripples, where it kind of completes the cycle of animation and then moves somewhere random in its vicinity? So we actually have like goes from little ember, little actually goes from like little spark to a simple effect here. Should give a sense of like natural kind of looking fire. So let me go even smaller with our bits. One more, I think, just with a few sparks. Maybe a couple more sparks of like both colours in there. And then finally, like that should work. So map fire, yeah, that all seems correct. So let's do that. This should be fun, I think, and we will do something similar to what we did with the ripples. Okay. Probably should exist on the actual house, but like let's see how a ripple works. So a ripple. I'm gonna look this up. So in Unity, does it highlight the parent, the object I have selected? But shouldn't it highlight that? Like, I don't know. We'll visit that at some point. Maybe if someone knows, they can tell me. Where, because I thought if I selected like that, it should highlight the parent object that it lives in, and I feel like either I'm crazy and that was never the case, or I've turned it off somehow by accident. Okay, well, so We have fire. And then, yeah, ripples. And ripple has this whole thing. Has the animation event handler, animation randomizer. So one of these. So this just randomizes the start of the animation. And then there's another part which changes position slightly. So I think I actually want the same. Yeah, and this probably could have been split up, but like, yeah, ripple randomize location, so I can actually have it do that. Okay, so I will copy one of these. Call this fire. Animation. So just animating the fire, just going through the frames. Pretty basic stuff, but it needs doing. And then we hold that frame for 4. And that looks quite nice, fairly nice. Nice little fire animation. And then we put an event in there, which I'm still a little bit, yeah, we add event, and this event is, we go to ripple randomize location, and then if I take that fire, and let's just put it here for now. So for one thing, the sprite renderer needs to be 45. Oh, fire is, okay, yeah. And the position, no, we're not animating that. Turn off record, so it stops animating, and so, and I think we might want to take, just so that there's never any confusion about where it is, about being in front of the house, this should be, yeah, unpack prefab. Might be like too big and fast, right? It's okay. Yeah, let's make it last a second. I think that might be too aggressive. We might want something a bit less like, you know, And then basically, if it's like the ripples, it should change position. Like by the ripples. So I think we will make a prefab here. And then fire, we might just want to make it smaller. And then we might have like 2 per house kind of thing. Let's see how this works. So that should be doing yeah, that should. Let's see what breaks when I just go into this scene. Okay. Transform child out of bounds. Okay, what are you asking? Okay, so they've got the map house thing on them, which is doing the flip. I'm just gonna go if spaghetti, but this is the way it works for the other houses. If it's flipped, then the shadow is also flipped. And yeah, I feel that fire kind of looks a bit almost like a little explosion, whereas I think we want more of a kind of maybe more little ones happening. The main thing I want to do actually, and I might bump it up on the list, is the way that like fire and ice look on the enemies. Like, so if you look at the trailer, if you look at any of the footage. Event has no function name. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Has no function name specified. What do you mean? What does that even mean? Okay, I don't know, like how much more complicated it would need to be than what it is. Has no function name specified, but it just plainly does. It just absolutely. What do you mean function name? Like we're pointing here. There's the name. So this, we don't need this one. Is it because I accidentally made another keyframe? Is that it? Is that the problem? I don't know why I like had to select 2 there. So maybe that's fixed it. It's kind of working in the sense that it's dynamic and it kind of like moves about. And what I would like is to have like 3 per house, but I actually think I like the fire appearing and disappearing, But I think it should actually just be like a solid ongoing fire. So more like... So yeah, I'll just discard all of that. I'm getting better at doing these kinds of animations, which is nice. Let's do like 4, and they're all like slightly different. So yeah, I'll just... Let's just do another one. I mean, that might be enough, actually. It's a very scrappy little animation there, but it should work. Map fire. So let's kind of mess with the thingamajig. Sprites. It's going to say no, yeah, remove. Let's just redo this. Should we do like 8 frames? We go 1, 16, wait, yeah, 16 and 24. So we go. So I'm thinking of going to the middle position before returning to the start position. Is that one frame off? Yeah, I think that's just like a little bit less aggressive. As fun as it was to do like a nice flourishing burn, and I'm glad to have that in my pocket. I think it was just a bit too aggressive. We just want a nice wobbling fire. And they would be like sitting at the top. And we probably didn't need the like ripple thing to make the move. Stream more at this time. Well, yeah, I guess I just stream when I stream. I'm just working when I can, but yeah, I think I can prioritize these ones. I think the fact that it dances around might just be distracting. So we'll turn off that. Turn off that. I guess, yeah, we'll just take that frame off. Map fire. Oh, and it's actually happening there. Maybe it would feel better if it's happening there. Doesn't scale when I mess with the thing. It doesn't really make a difference. Nice. When you say timeout, like, I don't understand. Well, so you tell yourself not to script anymore. Like parental controls or something. See, look, it works with the ripples. The ripples kind of like finish their animation and then they spawn somewhere like randomly adjacent. And it kind of gives them this organic look. And then for the fire, that's not really necessary. The fire's going to want to just stay in one spot. So yeah, we'll just delete that. It's fun to know we have these tools. Fun to know I can draw like fairly decent pixel fire. And I can, you know, make them hop around without too much trouble. But yeah, it is just, yeah, some of these houses are on fire. These ones have already been conquered and burnt. These ones haven't. We're going to want to see like the orc hideout, but yeah, okay. And then we can kind of, we can actually go in and we just pop this fire. Your first tool in your drawing software. You're making a drawing software. I like the way these trees ended up looking. And the hills kind of, yeah, it does give it something. I mean, obviously it's better than just plain land with nothing to it. There's clearly something happening there. Okay, yeah, so does the fire work? Yeah, I think the fire works. It kind of gives you a sense of urgency. It's like, shit, these houses are on fire. We have to help them. And yeah, the desynced animation is nice. And there they are, and you can sort of see, like, these ones have already... Yeah, like, I just think it tells a bit of a story. Right? The orcs are coming. They're getting closer. They're really just about to touch these nice lands, and we've kind of got, yeah, humans, and then down here, orcs. And they've got their bridge, we've got our walls, so on and so on. I think that's good. Alright, so you're learning some new tools to improve your drawing ability. That's cool. I love how you've got that, like, motivation of it's such a masculine thing. It's like, no, I need to defeat someone. If I have to defeat someone, then I know it's then I can motivate myself to do better. Can't just be to, like, make more people happy. It's like, no, someone has to suffer. Okay, yeah, looking good. And yeah, I think this works. Like, you can't see it from here, but you can easily see, like, yeah, the orcs are coming, they're burning houses, like, and I think these houses are just going to be eternally on fire. We could change it bit by bit as the story goes on. Might be quite a fun thing to do, to, like, have the map change a bit, but it's not really going to change. Like, this is the contested territory. They've set up camp here. They're raping and pillaging around here. We've set up camp here. We're trying to stop them before they get in, you know? So I think that's a good setup there. Okay, what's next on the list? Burning houses, burnt out houses, yeah. Little dock and houses by the coast. That sand is really quite yellow, isn't it? I should probably make it less yellow. And that line feels quite straight, although it isn't. And what am I talking about here? Yeah, there should be a little dock town, just to give a sense of, like, this was the town that would have just got demolished by the orcs. So the way we do that is, I think, yeah, we'll have, and yeah, the actual orc base. So it's invisible when we look at it on the map. But it's this is the town, and the orc camp is like, yeah, they've kind of squatted right on the town. Because actually, maybe it should be more like, here's the orc camp. Here's, like, an entirely separate village. With some, like, I don't know what a burnt farm looks like. You're making a drawing software. That's crazy. Why are you making a drawing software? What do you have to gain from that? That sounds like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this, but to me that sounds like a bad use of time. Sounds to me like you should just be using a pre-existing drawing software. Yeah, what does a burnt farm look like? I mean, I'm doing farms so far like this, so we do them on the farm layer. Actually, yeah, we do want to see what we're doing. So, like, we would have, like, what does a burnt farm look like? So what if we just, there's our black, it's slightly off black, that's why I didn't just choose black. And yeah, let's put this on so we can see it. And we might have, like, yeah, a couple little farms by the river, except these ones would have been ruined. So and I guess we were doing like square farms. I mean, I kind of, yeah, the farms I'm not sure about in general, but I guess we would see some like what does a burnt out farm look like? Maybe with like some bits of fire on it as well. It's a bit fiddly to do this, but yeah, I just want to quickly see how does that work. Map farms. Again, just kind of trying to tell the story. And I think, yeah, we should have a few like bit of burnt farms. Party drawing games. Reminds me of that game. So yeah, drawing mechanics. I'm thinking of that game. It's that new one where you have to like hide and you can paint on yourself. That sounds fun. I guess it's that kind of thing. Okay, yeah. So we've got some farms on fire, and then how do we give a sense that this was a town? I mean, we've just got like a cluster of things there. This should quite get the movement right. So then our orc base is kind of around here, but it's not on the dot there, and then here's probably where they landed. So like I feel like the orcs, they're not good. They don't particularly use the old buildings. They're just going to build their camp somewhere near them. So then if we had a little dock town, so let's grab one of each of our houses and just kind of like, I guess on the map, can draw a little dock. I guess it would be a little wooden dock. You know, just like a little pier. And it wouldn't be on the farms, it should be, well, I guess I can put it on the farms layer. Yeah, let's just put it on the farms layer because it's just like a separate layer to use. I hope that doesn't confuse me later. And then what does a dock look like? I don't know. I'm not an artist. Let's say we filled that in and then just had like little legs. And then maybe actually this does have a black outline. Just little like little ridges going across, or is that too intense? Guess I can. Yeah, no, I think that just looks nice. And then if we have a few houses around it, should I just use a darker wood color though? Let's use a darker wood color for these ridges, just in case we do want to change it. So I'll just do like. It's obviously, by perspective, these are very, very massive planks of wood that we're using. Very, very wide planks of wood. But yeah, the more and more I look at like maps for games, like the more you realize like this doesn't make, there's no size consistency. Okay, yeah, I mean that's simple enough. That kind of does what we want. Slight angle works well. Let's. So we're exporting that as part of the farms layer, are we? Yeah. Okay. Fine. So then there it is in the game, and then we can kind of imagine this little farming village maybe. So yeah, we'll take a few of you that would have got destroyed by the orcs. Like maybe they would have done a bit of fishing. Like I don't know. Do I want to? How do you show that there's a dock? I mean, there's no boats. The boats would have been destroyed by the orcs, I guess. You could have a little sinking ship, but then that's another thing I have to draw. Whereas maybe we're doing fine just telling the story of this orc invasion through these images. Like it's clear what's happening. And again, if you can't be good at drawing, be clear at what you're trying to draw. Wells. I did wells. Little dock and houses by coast, and then little fiery orc totems. So yeah, we can really like further tell that story. Like there's going to be more totems depending on where the orcs have conquered. So let's. I think we are looking at another 16 by 16 object, and we're drawing a little totem, which we've already kind of got. So save that. Use. Save as orc totem map. I guess just map totem, it should be fine. Let's stop that. And these will be animated as well. I don't know if we'll have different versions. I don't know if that's needed. But I guess a totem is... I guess I should remind myself of what my totems look like. So we'll just go to sprites, characters, green beans, green beans, and then we keep scrolling until we find a beautiful totem. And it is just kind of like a horned post. That's the level 2, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. So let's do level 1 at a much lower resolution. For these bits, I might just go like not do the black outline, just go straight to the white, and then we've got. I think that is the exact same wood. Don't have enough space to like draw the eyes and have them separate. Yeah, maybe that's fine. Let's just do a third one for like a different. I swear I keep getting this like wrong. There we go, that should do it. Kind of looks like a wobbly jelly. Jesus, a 47-page PDF on how to use your drawing engine. That's crazy. That does sound a bit mad to me. I'm starting to. At first, I thought you were a bot, and now I'm questioning your sanity a little bit. I think you're always keeping me on my toes, full of surprises. Okay, shall we export that? Yeah, let's export that. So we've got another nice little animated object, map totem. So we go through this again. But yeah, I think that the map is starting to, compared to how it started today, the map is looking a lot more fleshed out, which is nice. So oh, 32, that's fine then. You're completely normal. Nothing to worry about. False alarm. Okay, and so we're going to take one of these in. Delete the little bit there, and then, so where are you, totem? Let's put your scale to 5. Let's rotate you 45. And let's animate you. Like that. And we'll just quickly do the animations. We're certainly going to have to slow it down a bit, but generally every 4 frames a change works well. Yeah, let's slow that down to like a second, I guess. So slowing it down by about 4. Okay, we'll whack on one of our patented, what did I call it, animation randomizer, which is just a little script that tells the animation to start at a different point. Where's map totem? And do we need to make a prefab? I often find I regret when I don't make a prefab. But yeah, let's just say they've kind of spaced these guys out evenly. I won't put too many because I might have to change it. Yeah, I'm getting by the right pivot here. So it's like the orcs are like putting these guys up whenever they've conquered a spot. Bastards burning farms down. Like, what kind of savage does that? And I think it just helps tell the story a bit. Like, these guys claim territory and they kind of set it on fire. Even though, funnily enough, like, we've given fire as the main element for the humans, and it's the orcs that their main element is lightning. It's funny little thing there. Humans don't have access to lightning. They have fire and ice. Orcs have lightning and fire, and undead have ice and lightning. Yeah, I mean, it's telling a story. It's like, okay, like, so it's not that beautiful. Obviously, you don't look at it and go, oh, wow, look at the death and destruction from those beautiful pieces of art. But you look at it and you go, well, it's obvious what's happened here. Especially when you can actually see the orc base. It's like, oh yeah, the orcs are like taking over. They're coming. They're tearing down the land. They're getting closer. And their sort of way of marking areas that they've conquered is just by setting up these totems. Which, you know, I think it's like, yeah, fire and kind of impermanence. I think fire is maybe a symbol of impermanence. I think that's fairly safe to say. Okay, well, we've gotten through our list. Little fiery orc totems. So then the next is add forest to the western edge. So yeah, I just wanted to get some of this forestiness and actually like finish this forest, which I do by grabbing clumps of trees and copying and pasting them like crazy. It's easier to do that and then look at bits that feel like, oh, I can really see the pattern here, and then do what we can to break that pattern, kind of like what we've done here. Like, it was really obvious that this was like, was it 7, 8, like 12, like 10 clumps here, but we kind of messed it up so the clumps aren't quite so obvious. And so yeah, we need to. So that's the next list. Forest to western edge, forest around north of river. Bring southern part of sea inland a bit. So yeah, like delete that and kind of just let that be sea. So kind of bring that in like that. Place a forest between southern sea and sea where all the missions are. Yeah, just another little forest here as well, just to kind of round off that edge, because it's a bit empty otherwise. And ripples in the sea. So I don't know if they would be the same ripples, but I think we would just have some ripples placed a bit more sparsely out in the sea. Little ranches with animals walking around. No, we're not going to do that. No, like if the whole map was meant to be this, then yeah, I would put that in. But I think I'm going to cut that off. As much as I would like that, I kind of feel like I need to go a little bit crazy with the animated parts to make up for how weak the art is, basically, or how simple it is. And then if we do all of those things, then I think the next thing is to get these next bases done, which is a pain in the ass. But yeah, I need to draw 10 buildings for the orcs, 10 for the undead, 10 for the demons. Oh no, like 7 each. But I also need to design what those buildings are. I'll just show you. This is my mirror board. And so This is what it looks like. This is what the human one looks like. So we have a building associated with each skill tree, and I need to do the same for the orcs, and I haven't actually decided on which is which. I kind of use this to get my sense of what it's like to scroll through the town, which, if you've seen like what that is like, do we have it open? To walk around in the town, and we would have the orc version, so we would have like, I guess, like a pair for each of the human ones. But yeah, this looks good, I think. Yeah, I really don't like how the highlight appears behind the other object. That's really distracting. Yeah, what can I do about that? I think I just space out the towns to build these differently so that just never happens. I guess it's inevitable. Like, I don't mind if it happens if it's like right at the edge of the screen, like there, but if it's basically in the middle still and that's happening, that's just annoying. But yeah, so we've got each of these towns. Each of them has stuff inside that you can upgrade. So the orcs would have their own one. The orcs would have, I guess, yeah, instead of a barracks, it would be like a war tent. Instead of the castle, it would be like the chief's tent. So lots of tents, it's fine. Instead of a market, there'd be like an arena, and we need to put the corresponding upgrades like intelligently in each part, basically, which is going to be a pain. So a bit of design there, and I guess that's the next thing. But yeah, tomorrow we'll do map in the morning, I think, if I'm starting in the morning, and then we'll start on the orc basis design in the afternoon. So I'm going to leave this one here. Thanks very much for joining. Today we have done these trees, these hills, these burnt houses, these fires, these totems, these burning farms, and yeah, I think the map is starting to get a bit more fleshed out. We can spread these hills out a bit. Yeah, spread out. I'll put that to the list. Spread out hills. So yeah, next time more map polish. We've made some good progress today. Great. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Cheers. Bye.